Good day, good people, and welcome back to my channel. Now, tonight's video, I'm not going to hold you guys for that long, but there are definitely some things I would like to get into. But before we get into all that, if you're not subscribed to this channel, hit that subscription button, hit that notification button and bell so you can be notified every time I'm dropping a video. Hit the like button, hit the share button, and as always, drop a comment in that comment section. Now, let's get to tonight's video. Now, like I said in tonight's video, I'm not going to hold you guys for that long, but there are definitely some things I would like to get into when we're talking about this situation with Hood Trophy Bino. And looks like now he is presumably dating, or maybe he has, I don't know, but he's dating Masiaka, I think that's her name. Y'all know I butcher names all the time, but this is the young lady who's was on Love and Hip Hop, and even more so just recent. She just had her husband, he was in a car accident and he passed away tragically, and they just, had his services. Basically, she has been in the headlines, number one, for a few different things. She is, internet, TV, all of that. But, folks have been feeling a certain type of way. Not only has it seemed like, when the news of her husband that had passed away, when that news dropped, we were like, okay, her husband passed away. Wow. But, to a lot of us who are not in the home, we didn't know that these two weren't like together. They still were married. They had children, but they weren't like together. But, that in itself, even though that should not matter, the reason why I did throw that in there, that they weren't together, is because people had a lot to say about this young woman when she went to this funeral for her, the passing of her husband. A lot of people had a lot to say. A lot of people were like, dude, y'all wasn't even together. What was going on? You guys were still married, but y'all wasn't together. So why are you? It was just the way that she was acting. Everybody felt like it was an act, that nobody felt like this was authentic. And one of the biggest people out of the group who didn't feel like this was authentic, and he wasn't alone. It was the gentleman who passed away, brother. He came out and he had some things to say, and he, said, I will bust you out. I will put everything on blast. He called her a broke bum. This is my thing. People grieve differently. Her grieving, for sure, is you don't know how someone's going to grieve, especially a widow, where they're going to get back together. We don't know. We don't know what their personal conversations were like. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all types of things we don't know, and you just hope for the best. But it's like, when you listen to the brother, when you listen to some other family members, part of the gentleman who passed, it's making it seem as if, she was basically doing his brother wrong. She knew that, it was like they weren't together. And it's like, if you guys weren't together, that's one thing to be like, dang, my husband passed away and we had children and da. And of course you're going to feel sad, because that was somebody at one point in time that you loved. That was, that was your husband, and that was somebody who you loved and you had some children with. But in the same breath, if you are putting on an act, that's just doing a little too much. People were pointing out the fact that she had these Ray-Ban, the Ray-Ban recording glasses on, which she did. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but maybe she was recording herself in some aspect. I'm not 100% sure. I didn't get to see her footage of this, just what she had posted up to her page for the ceremony. A lot of people were like, why were you on Instagram on the funeral and posting up these pictures? Was it really that serious to get these pictures posted? That part, I kind of was like, okay. And then I was like, well, maybe she wants, the world to know that, hey, today we put him to rest, whatever the case may be. But that was kind of weird too. If you're in the moment, then you're supposed to be in the moment. And you take that time to be with your children and really reflect on, this is the last time that you're going to physically be able to see this man before you have to put him away. On top of that, we see her with Hood Trophy Bino. And we all know this is Rashawn Rock's last ex, and they said that was a publicity stunt, but they were actually still getting, I don't know, when people say, oh, this is a publicity stunt and my PR told me to do this and PR told me to do that, did PR tell you to that person too? Like, 'cause y'all be getting it in. It's just all dirty and nasty. Like when he was telling the little stories. Anyways, he just got through telling us a story about how he was slapping Krishan Rock on her face, and she was telling him to slap it and all this other kind of stuff. And now he's with this young lady, Masiaka. I keep saying her name wrong, but y'all already know me in the butchering of names. Now he's with her and posting it. I got her and all this other kind of stuff. And she's actually happy about this because she's reposting this. So now her husband, her late husband's brother, and more people are coming out saying a whole bunch of stuff. And it's like, dude, you couldn't even give this a full week. You just went to the funeral. You were just crying and oh. And like I said, everybody grieves differently. You can't tell somebody how to grieve. But how do you go from that to now you up on bruh? Because even in the midst of this, when we found out this, you and him was laughing and doing the googly eyes and stuff. And nobody's telling you that you can't go live your life and that time isn't of the essence, because it definitely is. But Jesus Christ, like how fast you can move with these people. And then him of all people, for you to be a person that talk about so many people and call you're low down and you're this and you're that. Remember all the people she used to get at and all that kind of stuff. And it's not like she's changed that much because she's still doing the same thing on the internet herself. But it's like for you to get at all these people that you have, and now you and some young bucks, tenderoni and meeting up and taking pictures and stuff. What's up with that? I just think that this is tragic. This is very tragic. And it's a downhill roller coaster. I definitely, it's good for Bino. He's steady coming up. Hood trophy, he coming up even more than what he did with Krishan. He's going to keep on leveling up with these different women that he's going to keep being associated with. But it's just not a good look. And I wouldn't want to be associated like this. Now, if it's really love or if it's really whatever you want to feel, then you go in and you do what you got to do. You are a grown woman and you are entitled to do so. On top of this, the last thing that I would like to add to conclude where we are with this young lady is that, well, let me stop saying young. She's not a young. She's an old tender. She's a cougar. Ray, Bambi's ex, he's always finding his way in some type of mix-up when it comes to drama in the women. He's come out and basically he said that she is for the streets. He says that she's playing in everybody's faces, and I think that, they dated some time ago. Now, she did get in her feelings after I guess she saw what he had posted up about her being for the streets and how Bino basically is using her as a come-up off of grief. And it's he said that it was sad, and he always finds himself to get inside of somebody's business. But on top of this, he was at the funeral, so I don't know if he was cool with her husband. And it is alleged that there was some DV going on inside of their relationship, and that's why these two were separated for some time. But it's like, dude, you always putting yourself in somebody else's mix up and somebody else's mess, and just keep your mouth shut, especially if it's like she said and this was some years ago. Leave it alone and let this be some years ago. What are you getting involved in this for, unless you further want to prove that she's for the streets and further admit to what the brother was saying and telling us all along in this whole damn video was that she was for the streets. So it does seem like that. Like I said, everybody grieves differently, but at the same time, now she's upset because all these dudes are putting her on blast. But it's like, you did this to yourself, baby girl. Y'all drop a comment in that comment section. Let me know what y'all think about all of this, and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video. Respect.